So let's talk about marriage sex. Do you have to be in the mood for it? Your partner wants it and you don't? What happens then? Does it have to be skibbity?
Well, God is neither here nor there because
That's the trip.
because if you wait for all the time for you to be in the mood, you probably end up not satisfying your partner. And if you actually give in when you're not in the mood, you end up feeling like sex is an obligation, something you have to do because you have to do it. It's no longer something to enjoy. So I'm saying it's neither here nor there.
It's actually true. I mean, it has to be mutually beneficial to both the man and the woman. A woman should enjoy the coupling just as much as the man does, even though we've been stereotyped as wanting it all the time.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Every woman loves good sex. Yes, we do. So don't let anybody tell you
So
nada.
why do women pretend like they are doing it for the man?
It might be something that men are always the ones who initiate it. You know, you ask for it. So women feel like, okay, if I hold it back, then you can give in to what I'm demanding.
It's always been there that women are the ones who actually enjoy the coupling
Not all the
the
time.
most. But hey, we're not going there.
Yes.
Not today.
Not today.
Okay. So when your spouse or you are not in the mood, what happens then? There has to be some compromise. You guys have to realign. And I know that sometimes it might feel like you are trying to do something that you don't feel like you want to do. And if this begins to happen like all the time, it could put you off. That's when you see women trying to advance their excuses way before it's time to hit the bedroom. Like, oh, I had such an awful day today. I'm so exhausted.
Like trying to build it up.
Yeah. So now, if you keep getting this, okay, true talk right now. If you're a man and you keep getting this
Something's
response
wrong.
from your wife, either there's something you're not doing right, or she probably doesn't like doing it with you. And if you do not fix that as soon as possible, and I'm not saying this is your responsibility to fix it, okay, there has to be some conversation.
Hard.
Yeah. About this, so everybody will be on the same page. What's going on? Is it that there's something I'm not doing right, or is it that you are physiologically or biologically clocked this way? You know, because there are people who do not enjoy. They would go for a very long spell without a
it.
tumble in the sack, and they're okay. So if you happen to be with someone like that, you have to
Mismatched
be
libido.
you have to be prepared for that. Know what you are dealing with. So there has to be some conversation. But if it's nothing like that, then it has to be because the man is doing something wrong. There's something you're not getting right.
Amen.
And a conversation is also required for the woman to open up and tell the man, and for the man to be willing to understand. Now, there are times when women pile all their issues on the man, and they believe that everything that's going wrong in the bedroom
I like to get in here.
is the man's fault.
I like to get in here. Yeah, I do agree with you. Men need to, be open-minded. I first of all blame our culture where women cannot really talk about how they want it and how they need it or how they want to, do it. I feel like that's actually the stigma. That's why you find women not being open to have that conversation. But come on, we are in the modern age and these conversations are had. So men have to be open to hear this conversation. It's not that you're not doing well. It's not that you're not doing something. It's actually maybe you're not doing it right for her. And it's okay. It's the process of you learning that you need to do something in particular to actually, something that tickles her fancy for you to get her going. That is actually what applies in this case.
Now, let me get to that point.
I wasn't done, but please get to it before you forget.
About tickling her fancy. Now, there's this idea, especially in this present time, that a man has to kill himself for the woman. That it's her fancy that we have to tickle, that we have to take care of her.
Men have made up their mind.
And the men end up not getting any action from the women at all, like zilch.
The man doing all the work.
Now, a man has to pack a big tool to impress the woman. A man has to do all the heavy lifting to please the woman. If a man cannot do that, then the man is ridiculed. So sometimes a man may feel like an underachiever. And what's the point?
Make I get my own, make you carry on, they go.
No. if I feel like I'm an underachiever with you, I won't look forward to underachieving with you. So I'd rather just not engage at all.
Okay. So that could also be a turn off for a man saying no.
So there you are, having a wife who feels like the husband is underachieving in the bedroom and not being in the mood. And eventually the man gets this sense that this is how the woman feels, like I am an underachiever and nobody wants to be an underachiever. So I would desist.
I feel like it's
underachieving.
I feel like it's how it's being communicated. If it's communicated in a respectful way, that okay, there are some things that you're not doing. I mean, if you do this to me, it doesn't really give me that feeling. I like you to do it a particular way. It's about you shifting your focus. It's about you, transferring whatever method you were using to something else. That's
how
actually
about
it.
the woman transfer what she is doing and get the work done, the job done herself?
That would mean me pleasuring myself, and that's not us doing it. Because if what I'm doing works for you and what you're doing doesn't work for me, it's actually me telling you that what you're doing doesn't work for me. Look, but what I'm doing works for you.
What I hear all the time is that he doesn't satisfy me. Whenever I hear a man saying, my wife does not satisfy me, it's always the woman's satisfaction that's the topic of the conversation, like every single time.
Let's not deviate, but I've heard men say that the woman doesn't really put in effort, and that's not good. I've heard men say that. But back to when someone is in the mood and the other is not in the mood, this is something that something has to give. There has to be, like you said earlier, an alignment. A conversation must be had. Why is this like this? Because if you continue giving in because you believe it's an obligation, it's your duty, you will end up hating sex, disliking sex. The thought of it will be something that irritates you. You feel like, get it over with. Because I feel like, because women, women, we have been groomed that sex is not something that's, really for us. It's modern women that actually...
No, women were not groomed. Women like to pretend.
How? It's no. It's that's where you get it wrong. It's not about pretending. It's not a conversation that was had with you. You're not told.
Who had the conversation with
you're
men?
Not told. You're not told. Hold
men?
On. Sorry. You're not told that, sex is something that is good for you or stuff like that.
Told men?
Hold on.
Who told men
Hold on.
That's good for them?
When men, begin to explore, find sex, it's always this, it's okay for the man, it's okay for a boy child to do that. But a woman, you're always cautioned, told on how sex is not good for you before marriage. Everything about it is like, don't even think about it. Now, if you by any chance find out that sex is something good for you, it's actually beautiful, then you start pretending it's not. You start hiding that it's not something that makes you feel good. But men are always applauded that, it's a man now. Like, they're meant to explore that area.
Do you know something? Women are always the victim in every
I'm not saying we're the victim.
Thing, right?
It's not.
Now, a man has to break his back trying to satisfy a woman. If he does not, he's an underachiever. He is going to be ridiculed. And if he is married to a really awful woman, she's going to go out there and spread the news.
Okay, let's agree to disagree in this case. Let's take it back to when one is in the mood and the other is not in the mood.
There has to be an alignment. Mm-hmm. But sometimes there could be a perpetual misalignment.
Ooh.
What happens then?
The ones that's typical, the one that's like no conversation will even help it.
Yeah, the one that you can't fix. What happens then? Do we walk away or do we stick it out? What do you think?